So for whatever reason, you want to beat garbage old demons. Maybe it's because you're curious on what they're like, maybe you want a demon grind, or maybe you're just mentally in the wrong place. Whatever reason it is, it's very hard to get started on playing old garbage if you're used to the new and shiny levels of today that, actually have thought put into them. Well, not to worry, as this guide is here to help you ease your way into the pile of shit that is known as pre-1.7, and hopefully encourage you to go out there and torture yourself. Old levels are very, very different from modern ones, as you can probably tell. The difference between something like Whitespace and Foxtail Socks is like the difference between Reddit and Twitter. They both have the same base, but they're both shit in their own different ways. The way I would recommend getting into these is, unironically, map packs. Map packs are hated by the community for being full of levels that cause abusive relationships, and I'm not one to oppose that. I think Way of the Darkness by Neptune is the worst GD fuck-up since the second X-Step coin. But abuse is what we want in this situation, so go ahead and delve into these demon packs. Honestly, you don't need to beat all of them, just like half or maybe 3/4, since at that point I think you're pretty accustomed to what basically other garbage would be like. But if you want to beat them all, go ahead. But I don't think it's that good of an idea because some of these levels can get pretty bad. Looking at you, Way of the Darkness. God, I hate Way of the Darkness. So after diving into the septic tank that is map packs and coming out with a few more shiny objects in your stance, you might think that that's it, but you'd be dead wrong. There are so many levels and creators outside of map packs that are from the Stone Age who have their own catalog of ass and ass. It'd be a felony to say that map packs are the end of the trail. But venture carefully, young travelers. If you go down the wrong path too early, you could end up closing the game, and Big Boy Robert doesn't want that. No, no, no. So in this section, I will be giving some creators that are beginner friendly, and then move on to some creators that are a little bit more hazardous to your mental well-being. Starting off with the classic Majako, the core guy. His levels, even if the gameplay isn't the best, still have at least a bit of care put into them, with the structuring being very advanced for the time and the levels themselves being overall alright. A downside to this guy though is that his levels are shit bricks hard, so if you don't think you're up to the challenge, I fail to understand how the fuck you beat over half of the demon packs, but whatever. M2 Call is also another good option, being the creator of the first demon in general. Their other lesser known levels are basically the same quality. Not good, but they're alright, and will definitely give you more experience in the insanity skills as you go further and further down. If these two don't tickle your fancy, you can always go for other creators like Experience D, Xanthic, or Darnock. But if so, make sure not to get too new or else you'll get taken into the time where quality was invented, and the flow of shit will be ruined, so if you choose them, make sure to be a bit careful. Going further down into the rabbit hole, we can come across a familiar face, Lunar SIMG. Lunar SIMG was not only a cracked-ass player, but was also a somewhat cracked-ass creator, making many very nice looking and difficult levels for the time as well part of their SIMG Factorial series. And I hear you saying, well, if they're a good creator, then why are they on this list? Well, they would have not been on this list if not for the fact that basically every single one of their Factorial levels has this in it. Beating SIMG Factorial 8 gave me a headache because of this type of thing. I'm not even joking. Down in this tier, you also have the obscure BBDDEE, who made such great levels as Demon's Tryout, Demon's Time Machine, Demon's Cycles, Demon's Jumper, fucking Black Demon 2. Anyways, those aren't even rated, so we don't care about them. But from what the limited supply of levels that weren't just blatantly cheated, they're pretty good for what they were trying to do, which is to torture you into submission. Alright boy, now we're in the bottom tier. This is where the truly awful creators go. People that don't know what the fuck they're doing, but somehow got their levels ready despite them either looking like a pile of rocks or a badly colored pile of rocks. The highlight of this tier is 100% PG 1004. Though his catalog of pre-1.7 levels is meager and his 1.6 levels are actually sorta decent, everything before that is just... what the fuck? Torrential, dizzy, allure of choice, caution, I mean the gameplay of these levels, and the decoration, how do you even come up with this stuff? The designs in some parts of these levels are just so odd, I can't help but to fall in love with them and then immediately get a bottle smashed over my head because this motherfucker doesn't know how to make a functional layout. PG, maybe if you got the China-shaped stick out of your ass and put diapers on, your orbs wouldn't be trying to start a riot against my goddamn icon! Sorry, Dizzy's such a bad level, I hate this level so much. So after all this garbage, I would assume you're pretty used to dying at 80 or something to something that only happens in normal mode and you can't for the life of yourself figure out why, but now what? Well, honestly, I don't know! I mean, if you want to, you can use your experience to demon grind. Or at least that's what I do with my experience in the gutter. You could create your own horrible old levels and unleash them upon your friends and force them to beat them even after they send you multiple words they can't say. Or maybe just nothing. Just sit there with your completed demons and wonder why the fuck did I listen to that guy on YouTube. But yeah, that's all for now. I may make a follow-up going into more detail about how you can tear your own shaft off with geometry dash levels, but until then, goodbye, and I hope you don't have fun. And I fucking hate Dizzy!